So, with the release of MW3 looming and things looking up for COD, does Xdefiant still pose the threat to the series that a lot of us originally thought? Or is it doomed before it even gets a chance to release? So if you haven't watched my Modern Warfare 3 beta impressions, then go and watch that first, as I'll be using similar observations in this video to determine whether or not Xdefiant stands any chance of competing with the giant that is Call of Duty. Although the movement felt really fluid, it sometimes felt like I had input lag when trying to change direction quickly, making it feel extremely floaty. I'd assume this will be fixed by the time full release drops, but compared to that of MW3's movement, at least in the beta, it doesn't quite match up. The movement just feels that little bit slower. That might be a good thing for some people, but for me, I'd rather it be as fast as possible, while also avoiding the feeling of being out of control. Guns in general feel great. I didn't really feel outgunned at any point during the playtest, and that's a rare thing, especially during early access to games like this. I've played enough betas/alphas to know that this might be an irrelevant point, as things can change so much between now and release. But I can only judge them on what I've seen so far. If this is anything to go by, the full release should be a lot of fun. Aim assist doesn't seem too overkill either, which is great to see. This, in and of itself, could be contributing to the gunplay feeling balanced, as the TTK, to me at least, was really good. This is one thing I do feel was better implemented than the MW3 beta, as there was a very consistent feel to gunfights, not feeling the extreme inconsistency that we felt on the COD beta. SMGs feel like they should, and there was clearly a difference between them and ARs. This has been an issue on COD for some time now for me. SMGs consistently beaming you across the map is not something I enjoy. I can't lie, I was hoping for more from Xdefiant when it comes to sniping, but that's not to say it doesn't feel good. They did feel very consistent and it was fun to play with them. We can't expect it to be on the levels of fluidity that COD has achieved so many times, but it would have been nice if the sniping felt a bit smoother when you're trying to play aggressively. I can't really say I had any major bugs here, apart from one where I couldn't launch the game properly until I restarted my PC, which in fairness only happened once. Some might consider this a huge deal, and I would agree, but as I said, it only happened once, so I will give them a pass for that. Unless, of course, it isn't fixed by the time the game launches. The first playtest was marred with desync issues for me, and from what I saw on Twitter, I was not alone. However, this improved throughout the first playtest, and I didn't notice any at all in the one-day test we had a couple of weeks ago. Hit reg is so important in games like this, especially if it is to compete with COD on any level. Ping remained pretty low for me on the EU servers at around 20 milliseconds in most games. Much better than COD. But that kind of goes without saying considering the art style and visuals in this game. It certainly felt a lot more like an esports title than COD, which is interesting, but not surprising considering the people working on the title behind the scenes. This game is actually capable of utilising my refresh rate at 1440p, which is getting less and less common with my current GPU. Overall, they're very good. I didn't find myself dreading any particular map. This is a stark difference to most of the COD titles. I still have nightmares about Arklov Peak. Whoever thought that was a good idea needs to seriously consider a career change. Awful map. I like the map designs a lot in Xdefiant though. Visually appealing with lots of vibrant colours, and smart design, allowing for proper spawn allocation. The game's flowed nicely on all the game modes I played, and provided me with plenty of opportunity to engage with the enemy team. It was extremely rare that I got caught out by someone that had spawned behind me once I had learned the system that the devs had implemented. I can't stress enough how important spawns are to a title like this, and they seem to have gotten it spot on. Really promising considering the state of spawns over on the MW3 beta that we've just played. Pub stomping felt really good. There should be lots of chances to spawn trap in the full release. This I am really looking forward to. Is it doomed? I don't think so. It's definitely more like old school CODs than Activision's latest attempt, but I do wonder how and when they will launch the game given the imminent release of MW3 that had a largely positive response post-beta. The specialists were interesting, but I decided to skip giving that its own section as I really only used one, as basically everyone else did. I'm definitely still hopeful for this game though, and if the launch of MW3 isn't what we hope, Xdefiant could come at the perfect time to steal away some of COD's audience, as I get the feeling this was originally their intention, as the COD franchise has been in a rough state for some years now. I do hope we can see a real competitor emerge, but if that competition comes from Xdefiant or not is yet to be seen.